Face develops from one frontonasal prominence in the center and two maxillary prominences and mandibular prominences. The two mandibular prominences merge in the center to form the lower jaw. The maxillary prominences develops nasal placodes. It will have medial nasal prominence and lateral nasal prominence. Which one is the first to fuse? It is the mandibular prominences which will always fuse and forms the lower jaw. The next one is the maxillary prominence, which will move towards the midline and fuses with the medial nasal prominence. So it is the medial nasal prominence unites with the maxillary prominence. Before it unites with lateral nasal prominence. Thus formed will give philtrum, premaxilla, and primary palate. So it is the maxillary prominence uniting with the medial nasal prominence, forming the upper lip. Remember, failure of union of medial nasal prominence with maxillary prominence will lead to cleft lip. Similar failure of union of internal primary palatine processes lead to cleft palate. Overall, the frontonasal prominence will form the forehead, the crest, bridge, and up to the tip of the nose, and also forms the ethmoid bone, nasal septum, the philtrum, and the LA of the nose. Overall, it is supplied by the ophthalmic division of the trigeminal nerve. The maxillary process will form the maxilla, zygoma, squamous temporal bone, cheeks, and the secondary palate, and the lateral elements of the upper lip. Everything will be supplied by the maxillary division of the trigeminal nerve. The mandibular process will form the mandible, lower lip, lower jaw. In addition, the Meckel's cartilage, the incus, malleus, muscles of mastication, and everything will be supplied by the mandibular division of the trigeminal nerve. So the face develops from three sources: frontonasal process, maxillary process, and mandibular process.